been making music ever since the crack boom. Country rap tunes. Coming down. Country rap tunes. Gotta have guitars and a lot of backbone. Come to the South once, I bet you'll be back soon. Coming down. Country rap tunes. Coming down. Country rap tunes.
You know what I'm saying? For real, man, you got to feel my young partner, Cory.
Yo, what's up with it, man? This your boy Cory Mo back off in this thing one more time for another Country Rap Tunes podcast. And we have two very special guests. We go back like time machines, man. We go back like car seats, man. These cats are so off the chain. I'm going to let my co-host, Kimberly Jones, introduce who we got in the building.
Oh, boy, we got the Crooms brothers in the building today. That's right. The Crooms that'll get you zoom, make you feel high like you on mushrooms. We got some legends, some icons. They gave you some music that made you snap your fingers. They made some music that made you feel good. Delicious and nutritious, good to you and good for you. You can thank these men for Soulja Boy, Yin Yang, Hurricane Chris, some of the greatest records of all time, made that money with that record label that they had, stuck together as family, showed you how it was done, and get out the way. We got the Crooms brothers with the leader, the legendary Collipark.
Hold up, man.
Damn.
Mr. Collipark is in the building, and we have his off-the-chain brother over here. Mr. Derrick is in the building holding it down. Know what I'm talking
What's
about?
up, man?
Derrick make you feel instantly like y'all cousins. That's my cousin Derrick over there right there.
Country cousin.
That's my country cousin.
And I ain't never heard nobody use the term off the chain as it refers to Derrick. He off the chain forever now. Every time I talk to him, he off the chain now, dog.
You know what I'm saying? Why not, man? So look, check it out. Let's go all the way back, because I know y'all have never done an interview together. So let's talk about the childhood memories, some old school of y'all just now getting into music. Like, what gave y'all both the bug to know that this was a destiny, man?
Everybody in our family had to pick an instrument. And our oldest brother, Kevin, really inspired us to get in the band and take it serious, because he was good. He was drum major and all of that. Turning it out, the limelight and stuff. So my first, want to be a part of music in that fashion, or any kind of fashion, was our big brother. And I think it was the same for Mike.
Yeah.
So you're the youngest, or you the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
And how many
You can't
brothers and
tell,
sisters?
man.
He the youngest.
Man, y'all look
Yeah,
like twins to me,
That's what
bro.
I was gonna say. They look like
I'm the
twins.
youngest of six. It's six
It's
of
six
us.
Okay.
So I'm the youngest of six.
Four
Yeah.
boys and two girls.
Spoiled as hell.
I'm in the middle.
No.
Okay.
If we was
Not
spoiled,
when you the youngest of a family. I'm the baby of 7. You don't be spoiled.
So when
You beat up.
when you spoiled, you don't know how to grind, dog. So we had to grind to get to where we at.
Yeah.
So we definitely wasn't spoiled.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. What you got, Kim?
Well, listen, they already know what I want to talk about. I'm ready to jump right on in. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about these J-tapes. Because let me tell you something. The only way in the city you could find out what was new and hot in music was you had to get the J-tapes. The J-tapes is like an iconic thing that you had to be there to understand the significance. So I just want to hear the story about how you even got involved with that.
First of all, before we go into that, I got to say R.I.P. to my brother Lazy Rock, Professor Lazy Rock, who was one half of the group Success in Effect, who made Roll It Up. Roll it up, my nigga, roll it up. So
I'm with it.
The way I got introduced to the J Team was my MC at the time. We didn't know what we was doing. We went to high school on the south side, Fairwood, before it became Banneker.
Got it.
And he went to church. His real daddy lived in Decatur. So they went to church where Edward J was a deacon. And so that was the connection to Edward J. So he told Jay about me, because I was, a little kid in the neighborhood that was doing little parties and stuff. So he told Jay about me, and we got on the MARTA and took that 2-hour ride, 2-hour bus ride over to Decatur, and the rest is history. But who was over there at the time? The first time I'll never forget when I walked into the J shop, DJ Man,
Wow,
and DJ Lynn had just made a mixtape called Supercuts, and it used Rodney O and Joe Cooley's Supercuts. And and they took Jody Watley. I think it was I'm Looking for a New Love, or one of her records. And when I walked in that shop, and they were selling tapes, they played the beginning of the mixtapes. And when I walked in there, that was the first J tape that I heard, and it changed my life immediately. I knew right then and there I was meant to be there.
Yeah, see, the other part people don't know about J-tapes is J-tapes used to be people's show music, because sometimes on J-tapes it would just have the instrumentals. So if you didn't have like show music or a producer, you would just take your J-tape to the show. See, I'm telling you, I was Bryant. You used to take your J-tape to the show, and then you would play the instrumentals on it, and then you would do your verses over that. And it was a lot of people. That's how they used to win talent shows and everything, is over the J-tape.
And you could get your custom J-tape made. He charged you, I forget what he charged, but Jay got that money now.
Straight up.
If you ain't had your instrumental, Jay will say, come on in here, give me a list, and they'll make your tape custom to however you want it. But that was definitely a moment in time I don't think gets his recognition when we talk about the hip hop scene in Atlanta. We talk about the fresh party with Ryan Cameron and all that. Big shouts out to Ryan Cameron. They all played a part into how we all got here. But Edward J, real talk, was the only place. When you talk about ear to the streets and street shit, it was the J team.
Definitely was.
Yeah.
Man, that's two player. So how did you get into production? Did you do DJing first, or music production, or
Edward J?
Straight up.
Because I didn't know it at the time. They had an original 808 drum machine, and they had an Elisa's. I forget which model of Elisa's it was, but those slow jam tapes that we would make, we would put the bass beats under the slow tapes. Under the slow songs. So at the time, Michelle A, Keith Sweat, in that era right there, Charlie, the old Charlie, the Gap Band, Charlie Wilson, all that kind of stuff. It didn't have bass. Matter of fact, back then, Al B. Sure and Keith Sweat was the only ones making music with the bass in it. How Deep Is Your Love? When that dropped.
Oh yeah.
See, people don't even remember
How
that.
Deep Is Your Love had a hard 808 in
So
there.
we wanted everything to hit like that. So I would go into the original 808 drum machine and program beats up under and literally play them up under the slow songs. So that's how I got into production. I didn't know it at the time, no. And then that went into me doing those fast and slow mixes, where I would take slow records and mix them over and mix Planet Rock up on them, which was the birth of sonically. Now, Cool Collie, shouts out to Cool Collie, who was down with Shy D and all that. He from the West Coast. Carl Moe was inspired by those mixes when he wrote and produced My Boo. So the J team.
So the original fast slow stuff, he invented.
I ain't gonna say I invented it because
He put it on the map here in Atlanta.
But let me tell this, because I never knew who did it. Somebody left a mixtape somewhere, and they had Dirty Diana mixed with Get a DJ a Break, and I heard it, and my head blew up. But after that, I said,
Michael Jackson, Dirty Diana?
It was Dirty Diana mixed with Get a DJ a Break. Boom, boom, boom. Ba-boom, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-boom, ba-boom, boom. And it was under Dirty Diana. And I never knew who did that mixtape because there was no talking on it at the time. Everybody didn't talk over mixtapes back then. But after I heard that, I started doing the fast and slow mixes on the Edward J tapes. And that's how it blew up. And Carl Moe, who was from the South Side, they used to listen to my mixtapes and let him tell it. That's what his inspiration for My Boo.
Man, you know people to this day be calling me Carl Moe by accident. Man, when I tell you so many people call me Carl Moe, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it for the last 15 years. Carl Moe.
Yeah.
Yo, man, that's what you made the pre-call me Carl Moe one time.
It kind of hurt your feelings too. Like,
said,
I thought you knew me, dog.
Yeah, man. Nigga JD. Well, yeah, Carl Moe. I say, come on, man. I ain't no Carl Moe. Shout out to Carl Moe, though.
You
man.
ever
What's
met
up?
Carl?
I met him one time, long time ago. Yep.
Yeah, so that's a lot of history up in there.
Well, I just want to know, because there's Collipark and there's DJ Smurf. And it feels like it's like alternate universes.
It is.
Or alter egos. So, like, what's the difference between the two?
DJ Smurf was the kid with a dream. Didn't know that any of this was possible. And he just worked, grinded. And he was a real DJ. Like a real eat, sleep, wake up, go to bed, and all I wanted to do was DJ. I really took that serious, and you can hear that in my production. Everything that I know came from those early years where I was in the basement, mixing, scratching, in the crates. My crates was freestyle records. Like some people, some of these producers, they go and dig up old jazz and blues records. You follow them to the record store, they pulling all that shit up. I'm pulling up Pretty Tony, Debbie Deb, and shit like that. And that's what you hear in my whole career, is that Mr. Collipark is the nigga who already had a record deal. You know what I mean? Got to clean up his image a little bit and make it presentable. You know what I mean? And brand and market. That's the difference between the two.
I like that.
That's too cold. So look, who came first as far as your first artist? Was it Yin Yang, or like who did you start to develop first?
It was definitely Yin Yang Twins.
So how did that go? Like as far as working with them in the studio and really, putting it together.
Them boys, you know what? And I didn't have nothing to base it off of when I call people great prematurely. Like when I called Soulja Boy Michael Jackson back when I first signed him. Like when I was doing interviews, like before the first album came out, I was comparing him to Michael Jackson. And when you look at him, he kind of looked like him too. I'm talking about the old Michael Jackson.
The original face.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that connection, but he kind of looked like the old, the teenage Mike when he had all the acne and shit. But I just knew I was in the presence of greatness when I was in the studio with Yin Yang, which in a way kind of hurt me from working with a bunch of other acts, especially R&B acts, because I don't have the patience.
Me neither.
Kane, in particular, was so good in the studio, and his pen was so good. We never felt the pressure of making music. All those hits that we made, it was never let's go in the studio and make a hit. We never had to. We already had that shit. Yeah. We just go in the studio. We'd be in the car. We'd be standing outside the restaurant. We'd be whatever. We breathe making music. And when we went in the studio, they laid the shit down. So working with them early on, I just knew, I didn't know it would turn into what it turned into, but I just knew something was special about what we were doing, especially when you consider, I could talk about it now, the physical disabilities and stuff like that. It was so strong that none of that mattered to me. Because that's something we had to contend with throughout, the early parts of their career. Once you on, nobody give a damn. And I talk to people now, and I'll say something about that just in conversation. They'll be like, I never knew that they had physical disabilities because the music was so strong. Right. They never even paid it. You now go back and look at all the videos and watch the show. Then you'll be like, oh, okay, I can see it. But it didn't matter back then.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I come from a big family too, like y'all. I'm the baby of 7.
Okay.
And I could think of my 6 other siblings, which ones I could probably be in business with. And one of them we have always been in business with, my brother D. But it's some of them in there that I'm like, if I had to be in business with you, listen, mama would have had to bury one of us. But how did y'all make this work? Like, it seemed like Cousin Derrick in charge, no offense. But
well, no. There is no offense. It's like you got LA and Babyface.
Right.
It's knowing your role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a creative.
Yeah.
And I know that. Now, when I have to put that hat on, I put it on. But I don't like to live in that.
But that hat is not fun when you want to create.
It's not. For me, I can't do both.
Yeah.
I have to go in and out. I can't co-mingle the two. So anybody especially any creative with a successful label or any kind of thing, they have to have a team around them. And the team has to know and respect each other's role. And I think when I went to college,
that's where I started.
It was when y'all was in college.
But I was sleeping on his floor. No, for real. I didn't even have a room when I went to Alabama A&M, which is where we went to school at, and I was sleeping on his floor for a couple of weeks while I figured my situation out. So it's that first.
Yeah. Are y'all two the closest in age?
No,
What's 3 of us?
Because it's 3 of us that close. Like I'm 10 months older than my sister, and she's 10 months older than him.
Gotcha.
So
They got it in.
It was back to back to
They
back.
liked each
back
other.
to back.
Yeah.
Back to back,
Yeah.
Jack.
Must be love.
Yeah,
God had to be love.
yeah.
But it started in school because like I was established in college and he was coming in and I knew how cold he was. Like I was a part of a Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity incorporated. And basically
That's that little brother shit right there.
I started to get him
Incorporated.
to actually DJ his first party up there. I told them if it flopped, then I'll pay the money myself. And the rest was history, you know. And from that dynamic, you know, it's kind of like, you know, like he said, when he want to put it on, he came home one time, it's like, yo, found a club we can do during the summer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So naturally he behind the booth, I'm at the front door collecting money. You know, so it started, you know, that kind of grind and us fitting in roles that we know need to get fit in, you know. That started a long time ago.
That's
dope.
real.
That's
You know
super
what?
dope.
What do y'all look for in artists when y'all are looking to sign them and put them out and produce them and bring them under y'all wing? Like, what's the first thing that you notice that, you know, make you...
She said it earlier.
What's
that?
it?
What you say about Mike Clark?
My car just got it.
There it is. Damn.
Got that? They got that.
Well, since we on that, how y'all discover him?
I
How'd y'all
love
meet?
Mike Clark so much.
It's dope that you already know about it. So I ain't got to convince you. Go listen to Mike Clark. You know what I mean?
I love Mike Clark. I drug a gang of aunties out to see him last weekend. We had a time.
So what was the question? I'm sorry. What was that?
How did y'all discover him? How did y'all find him?
A DJ out of Macon, Georgia, sent me Auntie Outside, which was his song.
Auntie
Okay.
outside
Okay, so you already had the
tonight. My
song
theme
going.
Well,
song.
he would send me Southern soul music, by the way.
Gotcha.
Which is a young term for, to me, blues music. I do a lot of remixes. Any DJs out there, they know Mr. Collipark been doing remixes for about 10 years now. So he would send me, I did a remix for King George and I did a remix for Big Pokey, my side piece. So he sent me Mike Clark, like, yo, you might want to, I had never heard it. You might want to remix this. By the way, he ain't got no record deal. By the way, he ain't but 18. Yeah. You know, and so I'm like, wait. You talking about a damn remix? I need to look into this.
Yeah.
And so I sent it to my big homie Willie Clayton, and because when I heard the record, I thought he was an old ass man.
Yeah.
He was 18 years old at the time. So that automatically, before I even saw him, I said, ain't no way in the hell a boy sound like this. So from there, then when I saw him, then he's an athlete. So he's a big guy.
6'4".
Damn.
He just has a presence. Like she say, when the whole thing, he just had that it factor.
Right.
And
Thank
it was
you, DJ
raw.
Smooth.
Straight up.
And it was raw, dog. I hadn't felt like that since finding my earlier artists like Soulja and Yin Yang. Like when you feel like that, you know, you got to grab this before somebody else grab it.
Right.
I felt like that for the first time in over a decade.
That's dope.
So that's how I found.
So I need to get in the lab with him, basically, is what you're saying.
I'm
for real.
telling you, Cory, get
that
in the
pretty much
lab
what
with
you're
Mike
saying?
Clark. Mike Clark I went to go see him at a little hole in the wall. Right?
Everybody, Kim.
This is how much I love him. I drug all the homies out. We went out to see him. We had a good time. But I'm going to tell you, and this is no offense to the other artists that performed because they were dope. It was a whole bunch of dope artists that performed that night. But when Mike Clark performed, it felt like the headliner was on. When he hit the stage, the whole room got up and moved to where he was, and you felt like, okay, now the headliner is performing.
And he wasn't the headliner.
And he wasn't the headliner.
That's hard.
And we cussed him out after the show. Like, yo, you ain't do.
He wasn't dripping sweat.
That's just how we get down. It's crazy for her to say that.
Nigga, redo that show.
I chewed him out after the show.
But
Yeah.
it's like going to a strip club and you paying, back in the day, that $5 got you a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So a nigga that used to go to the strip club back in the day can't go now. So he gonna kill somebody.
Oh yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
basically the same thing that we're trying to
Gotta go
tell
hard.
him.
Gotta go harder.
Because the audience is really 40 plus.
for this music.
If they pay $20, nigga gonna want $20 worth of sweat on that
Showtime.
stage.
You damn right. Whoo. That
Yeah.
boy Derrick ain't playing. Boy, that boy said you ain't sweat enough.
Southern Soul fans, we is loyal.
Hold
They
up.
We
Yeah.
are loyal. We
Yeah.
gonna go wherever you go.
Okay,
That-
so look,
right.
rewind back and tell us how when you met Soulja Boy and got in the studio the first time with him, how was that like actual recording sessions with him? Because I never met him before.
To me,
I've never met Soulja Boy.
to me, it was like everything that I waited on finally here. Right? I had a superstar artist with a work ethic that matched mine. He was 16. Doing that first album was flawless. Cause he already had all the songs, most of them anyway. Dunk was my
Made his own
idea.
beats too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he came up to Atlanta to record, he redid Crank That in Mississippi. But he came up to Atlanta to record, re-record the rest of the records. And just the way he worked.
Just fast.
It was just, man, we might have re-recorded that album, what, like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Recorded and
Yeah.
mixed it. I went to see John Fry over at Stankonia.
Yeah.
I said, how much you would charge me to mix like 10 records? He gave me a price. There you go. And
Jump
we
right
spit
to
them back
it.
out. So working with Soulja Boy, again, professional at 16. The way he handled himself and his business before all this other shit. Because I'm a music guy. All that other shit don't pertain to me. I don't do all the internet and all that other shit. You won't do that, wait till you leave here. Meaning the studio.
Right.
And so he was so dope, bro.
Man.
And when he wrote "Kiss Me Through the Phone"
He can write.
for the second album, I thought he could have been one of the greatest songwriters of this era. But after that, he stopped writing.
Yep.
He just started going in that freestyle.
Everybody thought they can go in the booth and not write shit down.
Damn.
Lil Wayne messed the game up.
Damn.
Yep.
Lil Wayne had
Yep.
all of them
I-
thinking they could do it.
Lil
Do it.
Wayne can do that.
But he grew up doing it.
But
I mean, that was
Worst
the
thing you could do
difference.
is stop writing.
But
bro.
listen to the concepts. He was 16. The songs that he had, what was my report card?
Yep.
It was just the concepts of the
he
records.
really put thought into it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The shootout and all that kind of stuff. When I heard stuff like throw some D's on there, I got my report card. It had all F's. I told the teacher throw some D's on there. I'm like, my head was like, yo,
Boy, the truth.
man. But I wish we could have worked beyond that second album. The third album, I really didn't have input in. But that the first and the second album, I was really, really hands on with. I let him do him, but I was like the quality control. And why don't you do this? Like with Dunk, Beyonce had that album out. I think with Put a Ring on it, and all those 100 BPM tempo records, and all we had was Crank That tempo records. I said we need something to play in the club when this shit play. He made Dunk right there.
15 minutes.
Chain.
He did
He
the
did
beat.
the beat in about 15
He
minutes.
did the
bro.
beat.
You
and
lying.
I saw
sat
it with
there
my
and
own
watched it.
eyes. Sat there and watched it.
Wow.
16, 17 years old.
Yep.
Just got it.
Yep. We didn't have Dunk.
Damn,
That was like
Soulja.
one of the records that he didn't have already when he came to Atlanta, but he did that
How
one.
does that beat there? 15 minutes, bro.
What the hell he made his beats on?
It was
Y'all
a
just
Fruity
messed
Loops.
Cory up.
But even the approach of it, because he didn't like it.
Little nigga, boy.
And I think it was the promo version. I don't
He
even
was
think.
using the demo version.
demo
He was
version.
using demo version.
What?
But even the approach of that beat, when I heard them clap, nobody was doing that.
Right.
And he just did it. I was like, what
is
fuck? And I've
that?
been making that tempo record my whole career. All that yin yang shit and all that. I'm on that the whole time. He coming that bitch and yep. Yep. I say, man, he really could have been as big as he is now, and I always love that kid. Well, he's a grown man now, but he could have been so much more as a songwriter.
I know y'all worked a lot with Lil Jon as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, John, that boy, that the truth. But how was it being in the lab? I've never been in the studio with Lil Jon.
That's so surprising.
So
Man,
I got a funny Lil Jon
Okay.
story. This is when he first started, right? He had Who You With, and I was working on a album called Dead Crunk when I was signed to Itchy Bun Records. So,
Itchy Bun.
so he, I asked him to come get on a record with me, and all he had was Who You With. Well, he might have had a couple of other records, but that was the big record he had, and that's when he was with the East Side Boys.
Yeah.
So I had the beat and everything. It's him, Ludacris, and a couple of members of the group organization that had the record Can't Stop No Player. They all on one record. So I bring John and them in there to do the hook and a verse. So they go in, we got the beat playing. I'm in there with the engineer, and they come in and they say, play the beat. And it's all three of them. And they in like a huddle or something. They over there. I swear to God, it felt like they was over there for like an hour and a half. I'm like, oh, this shit finna be fire. I'm in that bitch like, ooh, boy, I can't wait till these niggas get through with this shit. They come up out the huddle. All right, we ready. They go in the booth. They play the beat. I swear to God, dog. This shit might be funnier than me because I was there. That we hit play on the beat and them niggas start saying, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I swear to God, all that time, dog.
They had words too. What was the
Hit on the
words?
hook. What's up? 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 Stop tripping, ho. Stop tripping, ho. Stop tripping, ho. Stop. I said, God damn. Big shouts out to Big Sam, Bo, and Lil Jon. Dog, I love them niggas, dog.
That was Luda's first time on
And that
wax.
was one of Ludacris on that record. True story, man. I was like, you got to be fucking. I never told them that, but I was like, man, you got. Me and the white boy engineer looked at each other like, we were like, you see this shit? Boy, they wrote that shit. They wrote the hell out of that shit.
Oh my God.
Now that's some shit I wish you had your camera out for,
Oh, man.
nigga.
Hold up, man.
But yeah, but working with John though, what I can say with John.
That boy Pimp used to love him, man.
John was, I think his exposure to the industry, meaning like the structure of the majors with Jermaine and all that shit, but then being connected to the ground level of shit, allow him to put it together.
Yeah.
And the way he ran his shit, even with the live instruments, Craig Love and L Rock and them, the production team that he put around him, we just didn't know about that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But when John put all that shit together, he literally created a machine.
That boy.
And the rest was history.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And that was all with Itchy Bun, right? And Itchy
The
Bun days?
early stuff. Now when he came with I think the record with Mystical was when he went to TVT.
Okay.
And I took Yin Yang to TVT because of John. When I saw how they were promoting. Because nobody was checking for our shit like that. But
Yeah.
TVT was number one. They was in
TVT
New York.
Turned up.
They was in New York and they really was going hard for him. And I was over there at Koch. Shouts out to Shadow and D. But they just wasn't equipped to do what TVT was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Now listen, the Freaknik movie came out.
I ain't never seen it.
It's out, you know what? And I had to make sure there wasn't no footage of me in there. So I had to watch it. So I went to
Say less.
I was like, me and Cory went to the premiere. I was sitting on pins and needles. I was like, Mark safe.
You on top of somebody's car.
I'm like, nope, that ain't me. We'll find a baby, but I don't think that's me. But here's one thing that I think was I thought first of all I thought the documentary was dope. They did an amazing job. It was beautifully shot. It was amazing. But the one thing that I wish they had emphasized more, but I know you got a finite amount of time. But the one thing that I felt was like true hardcore Freaknik that was missed was what was happening in the music scene during Freaknik. Like, people forget that it was all of these showcases. All of the A&Rs and labels came into town during Freaknik. People were actually getting signed from Freaknik. Like, besides the parties and stuff that were outside, all the clubs had showcases because we didn't have no internet back then. Showcase was a talent show, a showcase. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you got seen. And so it was showcases all over the city. People was getting signed. The whole industry would be in town working during Freaknik. And that's back in my younger days when I worked at DARP. So I had all the plugs on what was going on in the city during Freaknik. And that's a piece that they didn't show was like how music was cultivated. So tell us about your Freaknik experience.
Can we stay on that first?
Yeah.
Because I saw the movie.
You did?
They didn't follow the pulse of the city.
Yeah.
I mean, down to the interviews, who they interviewed. You know what I'm saying?
See, I didn't see it.
So to me, that they missed all the way with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like,
because
that was such a big part of Freaknik.
you know, you don't interview no bass artists. That was the pulse of the city.
wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about
Yeah.
That was the pulse of the city.
Yeah.
So you know, I mean, I told
That's probably why I didn't bother watching it. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, no,
I can
serious.
tell when something is all. I'm not gonna say I haven't seen it, so I'm not gonna say it wasn't authentic.
Yeah.
But based off what he just said, I felt like that would be the case. Like they was gonna make it what they wanted to make it.
Yeah, because I was at 94 and 95 Freaknik. And what I saw on the screen was not my Freaknik. And so what I thought was, okay, maybe I had a different experience because I was working in the music industry at the time. So maybe it felt different for me or was a different experience for me than it was the people that was just outside. But I'm like, that was like, I could make a whole movie about just that, about club hopping showcases, meeting A&Rs, meeting other young executives and all of that during Freaknik.
my fault. They did Luke. They did do Luke.
They did do Luke.
Because he got involved with it at the end. I think
in the end, he became on as an EP or something like that.
But not one Atlanta-based artist.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Yeah.
And I ain't see it. But between Daytona and Freaknik, those two events, you could literally, it was the contest for me back then was to see who had the song of the summer.
Whoop, there it is.
And for 95, I put out Ooh Lord, which for me, that was, my life was riding on that record. But that's the year, I want to say Montel Jordan had This Is How You Do It, which wasn't a bass record, but these were the records that were popping.
Yeah.
And it was either, was it Tootsie Roll or either one of that, somebody from that camp had a record and they won out. Whoever it was from the Quad City DJ.
It was the train. One that
it was a record out that
I
camp.
think it was that
won the
train.
bass sides.
Yeah,
Come around the train. Yeah.
Whichever one of them shits came out in 94, 95, that was the one that they was promoting at 90,
come on the
95.
show, so
but
suit, Cory.
we looked at it as an opportunity to break your record. We was out there working to break records back then.
So my brother, who was a music manager at the time, was managing Kevin, one of our producers. Y'all can't see him. He off to the side. And that's all we did was go from showcase to showcase to showcase to showcase.
We was trying to break records. You know, that Freaknik and Daytona was the opportunity for you to promote your record. And who had the song that came away from Freaknik?
Yeah.
And took it home, and that's how you gauged what happened. You had the stickers, you had all kind of shit that you had everywhere.
They had new laws created because of that, promoting and stuff.
So yeah.
See, so I'm glad I wasn't by myself, Derrick. That's why me and my cousin Derrick. That's why. You know what I'm saying?
But they did a good job.
That's why I said they did a good
as far
job.
as telling the
but
story
I felt like
of how
that
it
piece was a
started
big piece
and-
that was missing.
Yeah.
They did, but they ain't talk about that. How we was outside getting deals were getting
Wait a minute,
done.
what you about to say? What you about to say?
I was gonna say deals.
Y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? That's that DJ Smurf coming back. I heard it, nigga. I heard it.
All I was saying, I was Mark safe. I was Mark safe.
Let's keep it rolling. That nigga. Oh boy.
We was outside having a time. We was outside having a time.
Yeah, I got to drink some water on that.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I didn't know you
can't.
did miss the New Booty record, man.
I found
How you ain't know that, dog?
Miss
I don't
New
know,
Booty.
man. I feel like when I moved to Atlanta, all the good shit had already happened, man, before I got here.
All the good shit
So I
already happened.
missed it, man, because I moved to Atlanta in 2009.
Okay.
So anything before that, man, I missed that shit.
That
man.
was
You
good
missed some
time.
good
You know what I'm
stuff.
saying?
You missed some good stuff.
I ain't even on front with you.
I missed it, man.
Yeah.
You missed some good stuff.
Came too
Yeah.
late, man. Damn, bro.
That was
Bubba.
that was right when around the same time I did Get It for Bun and Yin Yang.
Yeah.
Um,
Tell me about
I was
that.
I was in my bag in that period of time right there.
We went to Houston to shoot the video.
Forget it. But Miss New Booty, Jermaine, and shouts out to Skeeter Rock. They had Bubba over at Purple Ribbon, and I think they had been working on his album for a very long time and spent a lot of money before they came to me. And I was coming off of David Banner, I want to say, at the time. The Whisper song and David Banner. And so they came to me to for a single. You know, they come to you. We need a single. We need a single. And so the beat for Miss New Booty, I did right after I did Play. And if you know the turnaround,
Right. Run,
I said I'm gonna do a whole beat with that. And so I did that beat. Now I want to say I gave it to Banner first, and he didn't take it. Then I gave it to Bubba, and he heard it. You know, he a rap guy, so he heard it and heard what I heard. My thing was to make a twerk record without using the 808 drum. So Miss New Booty has no 808, and it was very intentional. That's why I still don't understand why people love it the way they do to this day.
Wow. Man, I'm finna research.
Tell them about the
that.
title. How you come up with
So
the hook,
we was
though?
in the beat. I mean, we was in the studio, and in there the beat was playing. So we needed some inspiration. So we went down the street to Platinum 21, and
Of course.
I had never hung out with Bubba before, and I put a little girl with a nice ass on him.
Yeah.
And before then, he was like, I'm a titty guy, and so I put that little girl on him, and he came back to the studio and said, I found you, Miss New Booty.
New Booty.
So
No, that's right.
I'm dead.
so that real shit.
That is hilarious.
Yep.
What's up with it, man? It's your boy Cory Mo. I need everybody to go and download the mobile app, Country Rap Tunes Radio, 24/7 non-stop Southern hip hop. All your favorite throwbacks. It's available on Android and it's available on iPhone. Also, I need you to log on to countryraptunes.com, support a player. If y'all looking for that fly merch, you already know what it is. Also, you can get all your exclusive Country Rap Tunes podcasts there. Everything involving Country Rap Tunes. You know where to go. You know what to do. Holla at your boy. Chetch.
Country rap tunes.
Yep.
So look, I'm gonna change gears real quick. Tell me about being a father, man. What's your most favorite thing about being a father? Both of y'all.
Not after the Miss New Booty story.
Right there, man.
Man, we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna chop it up. Chop it up, man.
Well, I'm over here like, what that Key and Peele when they start sweating this shit.
Oh man, this is TV, man.
I think
I
my
have great editors on my team.
my favorite part about being a father is watching their achievements.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? That just, you know, from simply a A to a test to starting to conquer life now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's you know, that's everything to me.
Yeah.
I think for me, my it's not really a favorite part. It's funny because I just heard Mike Tyson cuss this little girl out about legacy.
Oh yeah.
I was like, God damn. He started off slow, but like he was getting
Never
mad.
asked that
Right, like
question
he was getting
again.
mad at her. Like he was looking at, look here, you little motherfucker. Fuck legacy. Fuck
Mike
you.
Tyson.
Fuck your camera. Fuck your microphone.
I don't wanna do this.
Nah, I'm just bullshit. But for me, it is that. It's like knowing where I come from and knowing what we've started with us is the first generation of something that can continue, you know, through our children.
Yeah.
And so for me, when I think about that, especially when I'm out, on vacation or something, and they'll play the wobble, and I'm sitting there, don't nobody know I'm there. Like the guy who was a part of this record is sitting right here, and y'all don't even know it. And I start thinking about my kids because I'm like, even when I'm gone, they'll be able to come sit here.
Yeah, they gonna eat.
And they'll still be getting, the rewards of what we started.
Yeah, you gotta love that.
Do y'all have sons and mostly sons or sons and daughters? Because I feel like that daughter-daddy relationship is like a
Be
different
killing you,
thing.
boy.
We
It's
both got two boys and a girl.
Should be killing
wow.
Both of us.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Hold up, man.
That, let me tell you something. Because I know
girl
me
is
and my
the baby
sisters had my
girl.
daddy in the chokehold.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the same thing.
It's bad.
We both got 2 boys and a girl.
Corey, a
have
girl
a
dad
daughter.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just turned 10 the other day, boy. She tanned my
So
ass
what's your
up.
favorite part about being daddy, man?
Besides, me and Mo got a hit record on the way.
I know, right? Man, you know what I like was so dope? In my home studio, I have a little wall at the door, and I measure her. So for the last few years, I tell her, hey, babe, go stand by the door. Let me measure you. And when I tell you, just to see that thing go up 4, 6 inches, 8 inches, I'm like, yo, will you stop growing?
Wow.
And it's just so dope because she'll be like, hey, daddy, I'm up here now. I can see through the peephole now. I can.
Wow.
Man, that shit is dope, bro.
Yeah.
It's nothing like being a parent, man.
You see how his tone changed when he started talking about her?
That's everybody know me and Mo is his love. It's funny
Yeah,
because
man.
I'm a boy mom, which is then the flip side of that.
Right.
But I think about like how fast that goes because remember my son used to be running around your
Yeah.
studio. Corey, he used to love Groot, and Corey used to make these little like
T-shirts.
he used to be like, I want to go to Uncle Corey's house because he gonna make me a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And he used to make him these little Groot T-shirts and stuff.
Like
Now
right on the spot?
yeah, he'll
Oh,
just
wow.
make.
Yeah,
he'll
I
just
still
make
make them on the spot, man. I
Yep.
got shirts all day.
and he'll make. Now my son's 6'2".
Oh, damn.
And they need an extra large. Nigga, you was an extra small the other day, little nigga. What you doing?
That's dope, man.
But yeah, man, nothing can prepare you for kids, man. That is one thing that you just gonna have to get used to by yourself. You don't know what's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen. You don't know if it's time to go to the doctor, to the nurse. If you done broke a leg, then cried the test, the tooth then came out. It's like
The funny
It's
part
nonstop.
with that
It's
for me,
nonstop.
because when my kids
Nonstop.
was going through a lot of that, we was on our run. So I'd be like, put a Band-Aid on that shit. I'll be back.
That's why I
you get back
came off
home.
the road.
He did what? He fell off of what? All right, then I'll be back. And then, it ain't intentional, but thank
Pace.
God you try to find a balance
Yeah.
doing what we do
Yeah.
for a living. I'm not envious of any superstar because to gain success on one side, you have to sacrifice the other side.
Man.
And so a lot of people, I'm very laid back, humble, because I know what I want out of this. It ain't that. You know what I mean? If you want that I don't knock you for it, but you're gonna lack something over here. It's just 24 hours in a day. You can't create 25, 26, 27 hours in a day.
Preach.
And that's just what it is, man.
Preach. Boy, spitting that game, you dropping the gems now. Since you dropping gems, give some game to some of the up and coming artists and producers, like as far as them being original and just staying on their craft. Like, give us a couple of jewels that you would tell some of the upcoming.
I ain't really got. I told you I was chewing Mike Clark out. I ain't got no damn jewels.
Yeah, you do.
I'm just
You
like,
gotta have some
hey,
jewels.
and I had to
Yeah,
catch
man.
myself because I go in and out that mode, and I hadn't really engaged him like I engaged Yin Yang, in particular, because I was so hungry back then. So when I'm in the hole in the wall, I'm in the hole in the wall, and I'm saying if you can't master this, you can't master the Coliseum, the stadium.
Okay.
Facts.
So I'm like, yo, nigga, out of all my artists, you the first one that looked like aggression. My speech was aggression.
Yeah.
Because I feel like because he is what he is, he take it for granted.
Gotcha.
See that? So I'm like, you naturally have this, and you taking it for granted. How you gonna do that? How you gonna be great? So that's my example of I don't have no game. It just comes how it comes, and it's different for everybody. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's a blanket.
That's real.
It's so much, it's everybody got a podcast, everybody doing this. So I don't want to give just a blanket answer to that.
Right.
It's different. It's unique to everybody. Because just like we were looking at the same thing and had two different perceptions, right? At the same show.
Right.
And so I saw a bunch of shit that he can improve, and you saw what should have been the headliner. So, yeah.
But that's how he's gonna be great. Cause I've always said this, cause I started in music, but I was only in music for like 10 seconds, and my career has been in TV and film.
Okay.
And I always talk about every actor, director that I worked with over the time that second guessed themselves was the coldest people I ever worked with. But the people who thought they had it were so massively mediocre.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And that's my advice. Humble yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because God gave you a talent for his glory.
How about that?
Not for yours. So humble yourself.
Straight up. How about that, man? Hold up.
You see how this thing work?
It's beautiful.
You see how different those answers were?
Absolutely.
Two heads are better than one.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, hold on. Let's go back to my older brother. I don't know how y'all met or when y'all met, but I know I met y'all when I walked in the studio one day and he was mixing that damn song. Can you explain first of all how y'all met my brother and what song y'all was working on?
I think Hashim introduced us.
Oh, okay.
I've been thinking about it since we
just
talked
hit you.
about it.
Okay, yeah, that makes
Greg
sense.
Street introduced me to Hashim.
Shout out to
And
Greg.
I think Hashim turned me on to
Mike Mo.
Hold
up, man. Candler Road, probably 2010, up in there somewhere.
Yep.
I came home. My brother was like, "Hey man, why don't you come check out this song I'm mixing?" I walked down the steps. I see y'all little peanut heads in there jamming. Yo, bro, he mixed that song for I'm talking about for a couple of weeks straight. I came in that house and that's the only song I heard. So I was like,
he got it
whoever
right
he working
too.
with, them boys got to be serious, man.
He got it right too.
That was Trill and Prince Rick, and I want to say it was throwed off.
Yeah.
Walk around the club, fuck everybody.
Walk around the
club, fuck
Hold love, man.
everybody.
Shout out to Mike Mo, man. Hold love.
Yeah.
The big homie.
Yeah.
But speaking of that childhood, growing up in house with siblings, the one war on a Saturday morning back in the day was what to watch on TV, Saturday morning cartoons. What's your favorite Saturday morning cartoon, and what was your favorite cereal?
Both of y'all.
Shit, it was the Bugs Bunny shit. The Looney Tunes. That was because you had all of it. You had the Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
That whole thing right there.
Yeah.
And,
We were pretty consistent with watching. We ain't never really fight over TV, you know, because we all kind of had the same taste. But Crunch Berry is my favorite. Apple Jacks.
See, Derrick,
right there.
Derrick,
Right there.
Okay.
That's the same.
Crunch Berries.
And Apple Jacks.
Well, they put them strawberry things in that Captain Crunch
Oh,
bar.
yeah.
What the hell is?
I used to eat them motherfuckers up.
Then you grow up and find out that shit will kill you.
Straight up. Ain't that
I ain't gonna
something?
lie.
Official flavor.
I ain't gonna lie. I went years without eating no cereal, right? One day I said, man, I ain't had no cereal in some years. I started buying all kind of shit. And that was number one on my list.
Captain
I went to
Crunch.
the doctor. They said, hey, man. What they call that level right before you diabetic?
Pre-diabetic.
You pre-diabetic. I said, what? And I went home and looked at on top of my refrigerator. I had all kind of shit. You know that's what the cereal be. I had all kind of shit on top of the refrigerator. I threw all that shit away. That shit will kill your ass.
Yep.
Yeah. But
You know what? Why do black folks put cereal on top of the refrigerator?
I don't
Then it's a
know.
pantry right there.
We ain't have no room
It
in
take
that
up too much
motherfucker.
space.
Yeah, the
Oh, man.
motherfucker tall.
You got to
Right.
put that
You
bit
can't
where
always
it
get in the right
It
shelf.
get in the way of the canned goods and shit.
And then
over
for
there.
us, you got that cheap ass box of cornflakes that you had that was that fucking
Real
fat.
big.
big-
Yo,
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can't.
The white box.
Yeah,
you gotta
That
put
bitch
that
don't fit nowhere.
You gotta put that on.
Yeah, waste the whole cabinet with that shit.
You know what? Y'all the first ones to say Bugs Bunny. We get different stuff, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
one cartoon that is like if it's like every
shit was
other
funny
person
as hell, man.
says it was Thundercats.
Hell yeah.
That's some young niggas.
Yeah.
That's a young nigga talking about some Thundercats.
Bugs Bunny,
Damn right.
Elmer Fudd.
Hold up, man.
Man, come on,
Yeah,
man.
Thundercats. That
Yeah,
was the
Warner-
new
that
shit.
was that whole Warner Brothers package.
Yeah,
Yep.
that whole little
Woody
thing
Woodpecker,
was,
Droopy.
Oh, Woody Woodpecker.
Droopy.
And
That
Droopy.
nigga say Droopy.
Hey, for
man.
real,
Droopy,
Droopy
you
was
just took me
my
back.
number one favorite. Cause how he was. He ain't want nobody to fuck with him, and everybody kept fucking with him. Everybody kept fucking with him.
Droopy, man.
Droopy
I
was
forgot
number one.
about
Oh,
Droopy.
shit. I'm about to Google that nigga.
I forgot about Droopy.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Droopy was
good.
Droopy.
the nigga.
He was.
He sure was.
Droopy was super irritated all the time.
But people was fucking with him. he wasn't irritated all the time. Nigga kept fucking with him. He said, "You know what? That makes me mad."
Man, I ain't heard nobody say the word droopy in about
Ever.
2 decades,
Hey,
man.
man.
Oh wow, no, that's a good one. That's a first. Droopy.
All right, so look. Top 3 music producers of all time.
Quincy Jones, R.I.P.
R.I.P. to
Yeah.
straight
King.
up. Who else you got?
Dr. Dre.
The Doctor.
And this is unfair 3, but Quincy, Dr. Dre, and I'ma just gonna give him his flowers while he here. JD, goddammit.
Jermaine Dupri,
Jermaine
man.
Dupri.
Straight up,
That's
dog.
the chief
They
party
do
rocker.
not give him his respect.
That is the chief party rocker.
We can go.
Shout out to
we can
JD,
go bar
man.
for bar, song for song, and it gets subjective when you get up in that. Because I could have said for real, or when we start talking about. I'm just talking about the amount
Catalog.
of time.
catalog.
From Crisscross to Money Long.
The amount of time.
Damn.
How many diamond records he got up in there?
I don't even know, bro.
But Mariah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Janet, everybody.
I'm talking about these colossal
Yeah.
Superstars.
shits he had.
Damn. Shout out to JD, man.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? I went to his studio one day with Ray Murray from Organized Noise.
Okay.
Jermaine Dupri got online and was looking at his MP, and he was upset because his MP wasn't working correctly. It was glitching. It wasn't saving right. So he got on there and say, "Hey man, anybody out there that know how to work the MPC, I need some help fixing this." So I instantly text B Cox, "Bro, I'm coming over there with Ray Murray. We finna fix this shit." Nobody is colder than Ray Murray at fixing no drum machine. You can't tell him shit. Man, we went over there, bro. Ray got to putting on his Rain Man and doing shit and showing JD shit. JD was like, "Damn, nigga, that shit do that? Damn, we can." I'm talking about, bro, it was the best 3-4 hours that I had in Atlanta.
Ray did me like that. And he came over, and I don't even think he fucked with Ableton. He came over to my spot and got the fucking around in the Ableton and started doing filters and all kinds of shit. And I was like,
Bro.
God damn.
Start hurting your head.
I was like, man, I don't even want to do nothing.
Yo, man, he a nerd for real,
Yeah,
man. That
yeah.
boy JD a nerd too, man. Like me, producers, I respect the producers that know how to engineer, that know the insides of the program, that know the beat machine, that read the books, that do the real producers. That put it like this. If some shit break, they can fix it. That's when you a real producer and an engineer, when you know how to troubleshoot when that shit is broke. If you don't know how to fix that shit, bro, you ain't ready yet. To me.
That's real shit.
So, you know.
Boy, I'm gonna send my son to you. I'm not laughing.
Bring him through, man. Bring him
His
through.
ass right up here. Go hang out with Cory, guys.
Yeah, man, I went to school for this shit, man, so I know. You know what I'm saying? Whenever a nigga do that shit, dog, I promise you, man, that boy, Ray Murray, hats off to him, bro. Every time I see him, I learn something.
Yeah, he dope.
Cory, you got something special for them on your laptop?
Oh, yeah. Throwback footage, man. Look here. I got some throwback footage to show you guys from 2004. I showed y'all a little bit earlier, but I'm finna play a little bit more. Y'all was on stage, Mix Show Power Summit.
Okay.
With Lil Jon, East Side Boys, Yin Yang, and then I see both of y'all little peanut heads in the back chilling. So yeah, man, check this out. Oh, love.
Man, how young everybody look.
man.
God.
Look at this nigga, man.
We were just with Rob. That's who was with the other Southern Soul.
Damn, look how
right
young
there on the left.
Ain't that crazy?
man.
With the white shirt on.
Dio
over there.
right there.
Oh, wow.
2004, bro.
Look at them East Side Boys.
Man, niggas was out there with two-way pages, bro. That's how old that
Oh, I
shit
miss
is.
a two-way page. I wish I could relegate some people to text.
Yeah, man. So yeah,
That's
I just
dope,
had to show
dog.
y'all a little bit of that,
Not the
man.
two ways.
So how was that experience? I don't know if y'all even remember going to Puerto Rico.
I don't.
That's
But-
in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
So how the hell was it just being on tour with Yin Yang and just, you know what I mean? Give me a crazy tour story or something.
I'll tell you this. I think you had found one of them old tapes of our first show. This was recently when he found it. We went down to Fort Valley College.
Oh yeah.
And I remember this was like one of our very first promo shows. You know how you have memories of shit, but you don't know what it looked like, actually. So, nigga, it was in the cafeteria at lunchtime. I never forget. They had artists could come in there and perform while the students eat lunch.
Okay.
That lady's name.
Shirley.
Shirley. Miss Shirley.
Shirley somebody.
Miss Shirley.
Yin Yang was in the lunchroom performing Whistle While You Twerk, and the camera panned over to me real quick. And nigga, you would have thought I was a fucking hired killer. My whole disposition, I was so fucking serious back then. I wasn't playing, I wasn't smiling, I wasn't laughing. I was a little chunky. I was up there with the nigga like, man, play this shit, man. Make sure this shit sound right. You know, I'm over there, and it just reminded me. It was all on the line back then, and you just move. Your whole existence is different then.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, that's the shit that I forget. But that's how I got here, bro.
Straight up.
Funny story. Now that he said that, how serious he was. We got a promo day in Columbia, South Carolina. Mm-hmm. Nigga didn't pay Mike the Carver on the money.
Uh-oh.
It was only me, Mike, and Yin Yang. Nobody else. Mike ready to go to war with this nigga.
Straight up.
Ran up on him.
I can't remember that light skinned big man.
Ran up on him. I grabbed Mike like, nigga, let's go. Like this nigga, he paying everybody in here.
Damn.
We ain't it was like $300.
But I remember, it was the time. It was the time.
Oh, this nigga was
This
so
was in
hot.
between our deals. We didn't have no deal, and we was promoting Ya. And nigga, we didn't have nothing. So I needed that rental car money. 'Cause it was a promo day. Nigga, I came out of my pocket, nigga. We coming up, we ain't getting no money. Just give him a rental car money. I can make this trip back and forth. And he reneged on me, dog. I already killed that nigga.
That nigga ran. I had to grab him and drag him out the club, Cory.
Drag him out the club.
Live to fight another day, my brother. This ain't even worth it, right?
Damn.
But we forget about.
But we never let that dude book Yin Yang ever. He couldn't backdoor nothing.
Hell
Yeah,
no.
he tried. I remember he
never-
tried too.
Yeah, he never got a Yin Yang Twins show.
Monkey ass nigga.
You got that right.
Get your monkey ass out of here.
But that's how serious he was back then.
Because Derrick wasn't out there with me for a couple of years. It was just me and them in the very, very, very early days. When you came out?
By myself. Around by
So that was after
myself
the second album.
Yeah.
So it was just me and them niggas.
Man.
And you see how crazy
And
they are.
you was DJing for him too? Or were you just doing the...
I think we would put the shows on the DAT.
Okay, yeah.
If I'm not, you remember?
Yeah,
remember the
yeah,
DAT?
old school DATs. Hell
Yeah,
yeah,
I think we
remember
had a DAT and CDs and shit like that. So, yeah.
Man, that's too hard. Too hard.
But they was coming out with me on my DJ Smurf shows before we transitioned.
Oh, okay.
That's how I transitioned. That's how I made them beasts on the stage. I would talk shit to them before the stage. Me and Kizzy Rock be like, man, we finna bust y'all ass. Y'all young niggas ain't shit, man. We finna show y'all niggas. That's how I would coach them up.
Yeah.
And they took that aggression again
Yeah.
into their career.
That's hard.
But that's one thing, Shadi,
Shout out
being
to
on the
Shy
road
D,
with
man.
Shadi,
Yeah.
like the show was everything.
Yeah.
That was the beginning and the end of everything. And that's one thing he did teach us, just being out there around him, is how serious it is to leave a lasting impression on that stage. He would literally run on fucking stage every time.
Wow.
Wow.
Not walk. He would literally run on stage every time.
Yeah.
'Cause he was there to work.
These young niggas don't know about that shit.
You know what? That reminds me of that story Jay-Z told when he said he went on that tour and he was the headliner. And then DMX came out. And over the course, he said the sound went up and DMX started barking. You can hear on the side of the thing was DMX barking. And he said over the course of DMX set, he done cuss people out. He done cried. He done gave his, he done did all his records. He done dropped down in the middle of the show and started praying and did a prayer that sent the whole audience up.
Everything.
And Jay-Z said he was standing off to the side and he was like, I gotta step my show up.
That's right. That's right. Because he was playing.
It'll make you do it.
He like, I'm the headliner, and this dude just took them on a whole emotional ride. But do you think that's part of when we lost the like really detailed A&R work, that we lost the development, right? When we lost the really detailed development, because I also think about the New Edition movie where you had that uncle in there making sure that they could dance, they could sing, that they was in time. It's like I even watch young artists now, and one of the things that like irritate me, I be wanting to like, I'm like, this is not my artist, so I can't say nothing. Like, keep to yourself, Kim. I even want to tell them a thing as simple as every second you're on that stage, I can see you. So you can't check out of your show at any point. So even when you walk on the stage and they're setting your music up, you can't be looking back and looking around and doing all of that while they're setting your music up and all of that. The moment your feet hit that stage, you're on. And you need to be doing that. If they're having a hard time with your music, talk to the ladies. If they're having a hard time doing with your music, like, do something that shows that you're preparing for the time to come. Like, they don't know that.
Or that you are in control.
Yeah.
Don't ever look like you're not in control.
Gotta have
when you're on
confidence,
stage. Yep.
But we are missing artist development, PR training. That irks me. I can't stand to watch half these interviews out here because PR training is non-existent. Even with Soulja Boy, we had a choreographer on the road with him for his first tour. We had a cameraman. We had a professional DJ. So we were able to switch stuff up on the spot. They only gave us, 12 minutes at first? And he was mad as hell. I said, dog, that's all we need. You know what I'm saying? That's
You
all
killed
we
12
want, because
minutes.
we going to kill their ass
Yeah.
and they're going to want more. So what happened was, after that first UCP tour, the first half, they had to come back for the second half. I bust their head then. And we got the time we wanted, and we got the price that we wanted. But the artist development side, man, and half these niggas won't even listen.
Preach somebody.
We are here waiting to give it to somebody. Now think about it. You like, God damn, man, I wish I had that look.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen somebody and be like, I wish I can get in his ear for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give me 5 minutes in his ear, and I
They don't listen, bro.
That's what made it special about finding Mike in this day and age in making. So he's not really tainted by all this city shit that, these artists take for granted.
Yeah.
He got more talent than all these niggas. And you know what that look like. Somebody halfway think they got something going on up here. You can't tell them shit.
Yeah.
He's still with his parents. You know what I'm saying? So
Still
just to find that in 2020, at the time, 2023, it's an anomaly. That's why I stepped back. I looked at a couple of artists in between. They ain't really have me like that, but just because this is what I do. But you sit down with them one time, and I'd be like, man, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
You gotta see where they head at sometimes.
Yeah,
I had to put a little nigga out the studio one day.
Tell me about it, man.
Set up a meeting, man, and I was like, all right, man, bring him through. That nigga came in with his shades on and his head so high. Little young nigga, man. I said, get out.
Straight like that.
We ain't have no conversation. Get out. But that's why I don't get in front of the camera, bro, because
People priorities is messed up.
I don't have patience.
They are.
Horrible.
They are, and I don't think you should have patience. You know why? Because when the person got it and they hungry and they want it, they will receive it. You shouldn't have to work that hard. If I'm managing you, I should never be working harder than you.
Yeah. And I ain't cuss him out. I cussed the niggas out that brought him up there.
Yeah.
I said, bro, what the fuck? This
waste my time.
You really. You wasted your time too and your gas money.
But it again, back when we were starting, you just sat here and said you holding the camera and all kind of shit before you actually got into position.
Oh yeah.
You spent time around this to even get the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a given to these little niggas now.
Man,
That's what I be trying to figure out how Kevin does when I got my first TV job on being Bobby Brown. When I first started working for the ladies who had that production company, they couldn't pay me. They had just started their production company before we even decided we was going to do being Bobby Brown. So I worked night audit at the Marriott Hotel in Perimeter Mall.
That's what's up.
Yep, I worked night audit over there. I worked at the Gap on the weekends, and I would go intern for them during the day. I did that. So I worked 7 days a week, a shift in the morning and a shift in the evening. And then when we got being Bobby Brown and sold it to Bravo, my bosses came to me and said, okay, Kim, now you could quit them other jobs. But I did that for a year. Running on 3 hours of sleep for 7 days a week until we got that show sold.
That's passion. You love what you did, and if you ain't got that, people. I tell people I probably don't do it for what y'all doing it for. You know what I mean? So I can't really advise you because I started. We didn't think no money for this shit.
Yeah, it wasn't about the money. It was about the competition.
First of all, I was just so happy to be around Whitney Houston. I was like,
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, I'm gonna come here every day.
It was everything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that
all
we
passion.
didn't want someday maybe we could make some money someday, but it wasn't the drive. It was so far off for us.
Right.
We weren't getting up and going to work to make $500,000. They really be in their mind. Okay, I done did this shit for 6 months, man. What my $500,000 at? That they literally think like that. Tripping like a motherfucker, dog. So I can't even relate to these niggas.
Yo, man, if you don't put in at least a decade in this shit, bro, I can't even hold a decent conversation with you yet.
What's that old saying? You supposed to give what, 10,000 hours?
10,000 hours
Yeah, man.
to become a master.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Man, these niggas don't even want to pass out flyers no more. I can't
There's
get
a
them
story.
to pass out a flyer.
I was with Mike down in Mobile at the big show. Was it this year?
Yeah,
Earlier
Big
this year.
So
I took a stack of flyers
was in May.
while they were standing around talking. And
Got rid of all of them. Quick.
I ain't
they
saying
came
nothing
over
to him.
and,
what I'm
and started
saying.
tapping me
And
like,
you.
I ain't even say nothing. I took
came
the
to
flyers and I started walking around. It was a big ass field. You know how them Southern Soul shows are.
Yeah.
In Mobile, one of the biggest ones that they have annually. And I went around and passing out flyers. And Derrick said, "Look at it."
Yeah.
Just to show them niggas.
That
like,
right there is the essence of a real hustler, bro, who don't care what nobody thinks, what nobody say. Bro, I used to press up flyers so much and pass them out on the block, bro, to the point where I would have my little hustle bag. In my hustle bag, I have flyers, a beat CD, a CD with me rapping, and my damn video camera.
Oh wow.
You couldn't miss me on the block, man.
So you covering it all.
Man, please.
You ain't even gotta go back home.
From day one, hustle bag, okay? If I ain't had that hustle bag on me, it was in the car.
That's dope, man. Yeah,
Shit.
we all got that story.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we all got this story.
Yeah, man. So it's like when I see these kids marketing and promoting themselves and doing this, it's like you won't even take the time out to do a Facebook campaign or a TikTok campaign, $10 a day, $20 a day on the post that you got going viral. It's like, use your brain.
Yeah, you
they
would
don't
send
use
it
their
up.
brains. They'll just do a post, call it a day, and be tired and be watching TV and be, nigga, I don't even watch TV.
They be tired.
I don't even watch TV. I be on YouTube trying to learn something new.
Right.
When I ride around in my car, I ain't listening to no music, nigga. I'm on YouTube trying to figure out some stocks, trying to learn these doggone new beat machines, trying to see what's up next, what's the next program, These niggas ain't got it, man.
They go to listen. I'm a New York Times bestseller 3 times over. Alvin, what was I doing at 3:00 in the morning last night? I was uploading the new book. At 3:00 in the morning, I was like, I just finished. I was like, oh my God, I just finally finished the Robot Lady, y'all. I'm about to send it off.
Grinding, still. That's what I'm talking about.
But it has to be instilled in you, though. And that's one thing that we can't just point our fingers and say them niggas lazy. We got to show them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I take for granted for this generation.
We got to show them.
Nobody has showed these niggas.
Yeah, we got to show them step
Yeah.
by step.
Man, let's show these monkey niggas, man.
What the? Corey Mo.
We need to show these monkey
All right,
niggas.
Corey, you know what you got to end it with. You know what they got to tell you.
Favorite country rap tune?
Yup.
What's y'all favorite country rap tune of all time?
What constitutes a country rap tune?
Southern hip hop.
Oh, shit.
That's easy for me.
Country rap tunes. You
Throw
ain't
the
gotta
dick.
like it, but you gotta
Throw
respect
the
it.
dick.
Throw the dick.
No Diddy, man.
Throw
What?
the dick.
God damn.
Throw the dick. That shit changed my life. That shit changed the trajectory of my life.
Straight up. Throw that D.
Two Live Crew, Yin Yang Twins.
Throw that.
You see the connection?
Dun.
That was even before I started DJing good. When I heard the scratches on that record, it changed my life in so many ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's real shit. Well, man, hey, that's pretty much all we got.
Wait a minute.
No, we gotta hit
Do y'all
Derrick's
have-
country
oh,
rap
okay.
tune. He was like, damn, I was
Doing my-
almost
Probably
free.
Trick Daddy.
The Trick Daddy. Okay.
Trick Daddy.
Which one?
Y'all niggas keep fucking around. I get stuck in the ground. I ain't no bust, see? I'm a real big I'm a
Speaking of Trick Daddy, I ain't gonna lie.
Good stuff.
When we was working on Yin Yang album, he sent that verse for What's Happening. Cause I think at the time that he sent that verse, he had stopped cussing for some reason or something. And his wife was a huge Yin Yang fan. And she got him to do the verse. And he sent that. That's that pussy ass nigga. Wait a minute. What is it? Ask that pussy ass nigga. I got my big gun. I got my big gun with me. I heard that verse. I said, "Oh." At that time, to me, it was the greatest Trick Daddy verse that he had ever written, and he gave it to us.
Oh, faggot you.
You better watch your mouth.
I'm
I'll be
sorry.
in front of
No
your house when
Diddy.
your ass
No
come out.
Diddy.
Oh, bitch ass, hold another nigga dick ass, snitch ass, nigga.
Man, Trick.
What he say? Keep looking at a nigga like you won't tell something. I'll fuck around and kill you.
On the mark, you set it, ready, let it go.
Love, man. Them boys don't
Yeah.
get Trick his props, man.
Yeah,
love
trick,
Trick.
man.
Trick love the kid.
Oh yeah.
Not on that song he didn't. He ready to kill everybody on that motherfucker.
I love Trick. I love Trick Daddy and I love Boosie.
Oh yeah, I love
Boosie
Boosie.
badass.
Yeah.
I love me some Boosie, man. He gonna goddamn
Yeah.
cuss a nigga out too.
Yeah.
But I was at the Hawks game the other day just to see him now enjoying life.
Yeah.
Enjoying life.
Enjoying life.
It lets me know that there's hope. You know, for these people, it's a lot of people caught up in that, and don't think that that's not possible for them. So I think he's a role model.
Yeah.
Cause I remember the first time I saw that nigga in person, we was at some BET shit, and that nigga, eyes were so bloodshot red. He looked like he had just murdered somebody. He looked like it. I ain't saying he did. He was so hard, and when I saw him, I ain't even say what's up to him.
Yeah.
It was him and Webby, and when they was rolling together all the time.
Yeah.
And we was somewhere with some BET shit, and I looked that nigga in his eyes, and that nigga looked like a stone cold killer. A young nigga, but he was a young nigga, 'cause I'm older than them. Yeah. He's a young nigga. You know how we look at these young niggas now? He was that. But to see him at the Hawks game swag surfing now, shouts out to Boosie, man.
Shouts out to my nigga Boosie.
Straight up. But man, like, okay, so tell the people what y'all got coming up next before we get out of here. Like, what's the latest and greatest for you guys, man?
Mike Clark Jr.
Mike Clark Jr.
Mike Clark Jr. coming soon.
Yeah. He got a song called Doghouse. He got a song called Auntie Outside. And we just redid Slow Roll It. And that's dropping
Did y'all
next
do the
week.
Auntie Outside video already?
Yep, we did Auntie Outside.
That was my chance.
No, she was finna be all up in that thing.
Yeah, and Cory Mo.
Oh, love.
We need
Come on.
we gonna get in.
Come on, Cletus. We already here. All you gotta do is turn around. And shit, you gotta do nothing but turn around and here. We here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So look, man, I appreciate y'all coming out. Kim, you got any last things for these cool guys?
I just feel like at some point they need to figure out how to put me in a Mike Clark video.
Straight up. Straight up.
We will keep you in mind.
There it is.
Wait a minute before I say this. You know what's funny to hear her talk about Mike Clark, because he's a young fella and she's a real fan. So I'm gonna say this. He was at a show last weekend after he did that show, and we just saw the video, and he was singing Jodeci, Fiendin', and this older lady got up on him and just got up and fell in love, looking this nigga in his eyes, and stuck her tongue out. And listen, all I saw was Mike look like he was shook. So they put the video in the little group text. I said he was scared, and then they said, "No, she told him to spit in her mouth."
What? Oh, hell no.
I said, now we getting somewhere. Yes. Now, you young niggas, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
He was scared. He ain't spitting on my.
Now that's when you know you have made it, people.
Yes.
When somebody wants you to spit in their mouth.
When somebody mama try to
Somebody mama told that young man to spit in her mouth. I said, yeah, man. It was a proud moment for me. That where DJ Smurf come from. We talking like that. I love that shit. That's a proud moment. Hey, dog. That's how I measure success and progress.
Yeah. If somebody want to spit in your mouth.
That's how she reacted to him.
Yes, that's real shit. That ain't no like. That ain't no internet like, nigga. She want to spit in that nigga mouth.
Hell no. Ooh, man. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, real talk though, this why me and Yin Yang used to be like this. I was playing the back, but we used to be like this.
Horrible, man.
You said, where do you see my what, nigga?
What?
I love it. I love it.
Okay, hold on. Before we go, the Whisper song, bro. How was that Who the hell told that nigga to start whispering on the song?
The concept was mine.
No shit.
I had the beat in the concept.
It's genius,
and
man.
they came with the lyrics, nigga. When I heard the "Where do you see my dick," I was like, man, fuck. I can't even compute that.
Yeah.
Whispering to a girl, "Where do you see my dick?" That shit was just so genius.
It was super genius, especially at the time, because that's when we was in the club in business casual outfits.
Said, I'm gonna beat that.
And then I'm gonna beat that.
Whispering and slow dancing at the end of the night.
So, but we never intended for that to be a single. So when I say we never had to go in the studio to make a record, we just came up with music like that.
That song got leaked.
Brilliant.
It got leaked. That's why it became
It came out
single.
before it was supposed
Yeah,
to?
my old partner of mine was on some single white female shit and leaked the record. It turned out being one of my biggest
I think
blessings.
he was trying to get some ass.
Sound about right.
I never thought of it like that. Yeah. We ain't got to tell the story. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait till you see.
He linked it to a female DJ.
I never put
I
it
need to get
together
Yin
like
Yang
that.
on here, man. Can I get them boys on the podcast?
Well, we can get one of them. The other one don't live here.
But we need to still get them, man.
Yeah.
Some kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, look, man, that's it for Country Rap Tune Podcast. So y'all got any more crazy stories? Is that it? Are we done?
That's all we're gonna tell.
That's all y'all got?
I ain't know I had them.
They just came out.
They just gotta keep going.
Look, man, I appreciate y'all coming out. Another episode of Country Rap Tunes Podcast. It was a success. We got Derrick and we got the homie Mr. Collipark in the building. Y'all give it up one time.
Yay.
And Kimbo Slice is in the building too, so don't get it twisted.
With the dice.
Shaq. Good shit, man. That was fucking great.
We've been making music ever since the crack boom. Country rap tunes. Coming down. Country rap tunes. Gotta have guitars and a lot of backbone. Come to the South once, I bet you'll be back soon. Coming down. Country rap tunes. Coming down. Country rap tunes.
You know what I'm saying? For real, man, you got to feel my young partner, Cory.